Hey guys, Mike from Deepwood Force Foil here, coming at you all with another video. Know it's been a while since we haven't really posted since the Wanderer GP, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update. A lot's been going on in our lives, and of course the day that I actually get some free time to do a video, I end up coming down with a little bit of a sore throat, so apologies if I sound a little hoarse, a little under the weather. But I just wanted to come at you guys with another video, let you know that we're still going to be doing a ton of content, especially with spoiler season coming out. You can definitely look forward to a set review, but before then, I want to give a special highlight to a deck that I helped pioneer for the Wanderer GP. This was an original concept by my friend Henry. He came to me with this idea and was like, alright, I want to make some memes with the Dusk Girl, how do we do that? And I said, you know what, let's get started. So he and I came up with a couple of lists. He ended up taking his to a fairly decent record. I think he was in the either like the low 20s out of the 65 players there, so definitely did not do bad with the deck at all, and he went very toe-to-toe with Control Scheherazade on stream. Definitely check that out if you haven't on Jeremy Franklin's channel, TMO73. But without further ado, this is my build, and I'll tell you what I like and dislike about the one that I gave. So, ruler, of course, is the Dusk Girl. She judgments for dark. Well, she's a fairy tale, first of all. She judgments for 1 darkness will, but you can only do that if you have no cards in hand. She energizes for red and black. And you can pay a fire will to, and discard a card to deal 500 damage to something. And if you discard a dinosaur, it deals 700. We don't play any dinosaurs, so that barely matters. So, obviously, it takes a lot in New Frontiers to really get to that null point. But you'll see in this deck, we have a very easy way to achieve that first condition for her judgment. Now, when you flip over, obviously, she has a ton of stats to go along with that. She turns into Scarlet the Crimson Beast, which is 1,200 Cthulhu J-Ruler with Swiftness, Imperishable, Precision, First Strike. Damage can't be prevented. That's a very big keyword to have there. It means the tree matchup is very easy, and it also means that one of the cards in this deck actually doesn't work. So, as intended, technically. Also, whenever she attacks something and kills it, whether it's a J-Ruler or a Resonator, she untaps. So you can either attack with her again, tap for stone, whatever you feel like doing. I recommend attacking again because you want to kill your opponent as fast as possible. And then, of course, you can pay red to give her plus 200 attack until end of turn. So she's got kind of a pseudo fire breathing on there too. So Scarlet comes packed with a ton of abilities and a ton of power just from the get-go. If you do your judgment early enough, you can really just rack your opponent's head around and just straight up kill them on like turn 2 or 3, which is the point of this deck. So Scarlet definitely helps us get there. To help achieve that, we have our main deck of 40 cards, and this is 40 cards where it's all 4-ofs, so it's 10 different cards here. We'll start off with the 1-drops. First one we have is Cheshire the Grinning Remnant. You'll notice that this deck is mainly blue-black, water darkness. Cheshire Cat's just a really, really good consistency tool in tandem with some Regalia. You'll see it's really good. It's a very great defensive option because this deck has absolutely 0 defense. We're not going to pretend like we do. So, Cat's really good. And then the only thing that really gives Scarlet a problem is Scheherazade, with that combination of Scarlet's Agony and Ruined Story to just shut off your attacks. If you face Scheherazade, we main 4 Shackles of Ice. This card is dead in quite a few matchups, but because Scarlet can pitch it to deal 500 damage by paying 1 Fire Will, you can just turn them into damage options, which is always nice. And that's it for any cards that cost mana, or cost will. The rest of them are all Regalia, 0 cost. Kind of ordered in most to least important here. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah. So first is 4 Excalibur the God Sword. Tap to give +2/+2. Target attack. Potential to give Imperishable if you lose it by some means. Just added buffs are always nice. Speaking of added buffs, we also have Deathscythe, which is also really good if you're facing against other J-Rulers that want to, keep flipping. Stuff like Imul, IU, that's all I can think of right now, maybe an opposing Scarlet. But really what you use it for is more +200/+200 buffs. Apollo gives her flying, which is probably one of the only relevant battle keywords that she's missing. So that's fantastic. You can't really bounce anything because Cheshire Cat can't be targeted, but flying added on is really nice. Next up is probably my favorite of the Regalia. Just make sure it's in order. Gotta have the full art first. Gleipnir, the Red Binding of Fate. Of course, you could just tap it to make something have to block that turn. If you do, you can force a block, untap your the Scarlet, and then attack again. Every time you kill a J-Ruler, or if you hit your opponent in the face with Gleipnir, you actually get to draw a card too, so it's also added fuel for your Scarlet. We also have Artemis the God's Bow. Target attack barely matters because she comes with it, plus she also comes with it from Excalibur, so it's just kind of adding on to the fire. But it's just a nice defensive option. Being able to deal 400 stuff is nice, as well as just popping off Edition Resonators if you happen to face a matchup where they're good. Deep Blue, the Phantom board. Surprisingly relevant in this deck just because being able to turn that water mana into either fire or wind is really, really good for, first of all, being able to do her ability to ditch something and hit something for 500. And that actually opens up your sideboard a little more as well, which is really, really nice. I mentioned the Cheshire Cat Regalia combination before. Hydromonica is kind of just the be-all, end-all best thing to go with Cheshire Cat. So you open like multiple one-drops and you really need to get your judgment off. You can play the Cheshire Cat, draw 2, put a 1-drop on the top of the deck, and toss it back with the Hydromonica. So, really good, and I added draws as well. And then lastly, for Marybell, I mentioned that the damage cannot be prevented thing will come back to bite us here. Marybell says prevent the first 200 damage. What's the exact wording on this card? I hate the way this thing's worded. If your J-Ruler will be dealt damage, prevent 200 of it. That doesn't happen because Scarlet just says, as a blanket effect, damage can't be prevented. But it is really good at paying 1, tapping itself, and killing a Deathscythe. And if for some reason you're facing the Scarlet mirror match, which I ended up doing against Jeremy a few times, and both your Scarlets are dead, Marybell is a win condition because she can turn into a Resonator for 5. So that's really nice. And that is the entire main deck. Very, very bare bones. Just 10 4-ofs that do really, really good things. To complement that, we'll go into our stone deck. We have 4 Rules of Memoria because you're playing 32 Regalia, and if you don't play this card, you're not building the deck right. We also have 3 Magic Stone of Moonshade, and then 3 Dark Depths. Again, this is mainly blue-black, but you can definitely substitute one of the Dark Depths for another Moonshade. I didn't because I wasn't able to find another Moonshade in time, so they're pretty much interchangeable. Both achieve basically the same thing. Moonshade just helps pull out your extra deck a little bit more. Not extra deck, side deck. Speaking of side deck, I didn't actually have one built because we were still theory crafting the sideboard before I ended up going to that tournament, so I just have the one that I have here, which was Valentina and the 7 Kings, plus the 4 Sacred Beasts. Siding into this, taking out some less safer Regalia. I don't recommend this because Valentina is terrible in a format with Lorite, so please do not follow in my footsteps. The ones you definitely can put in are Heavenly Gust and Windscled Refuge, because those help you out a little bit in the long run. Excuse me. Other recommendations obviously are Lorite, Dawn of the Earth, basically anything that's just cheap and helps you get extra damage in or gives you a little bit of protection, maybe like Valentina's Zealot, or what's the other one called? Princess the Butler? Whatever his name is. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire deck. There's really not much to say about it. The deck is extremely simple in its execution, but it takes a little bit of finesse to try and, you know, really find the right damage to deal and get extra draws off the Gleipnirs. The Mulligan stage is really funny, and the deck is basically designed to take game 1 as quickly as possible, and then just peter out in games 2 and 3 unless you side properly. So definitely try it out. Your friends will probably hate you for it because they don't get to play the game, but you get to go fast for a little bit, which is always fun. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed the wonderful, awful memes you can make with Wanderer format, and we hope to see you guys playing it soon. Alright, see ya.